Gosh, I just love this park in the fall.
Me too, it's so beautiful. Did you see the little gazebo over there?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the All Speak. I'm Eden.
And I'm Gabby. We're so excited you're here with us today.
Today, we're talking about something that can really brighten someone's day and improve your relationships, giving and receiving compliments in English.
Exactly. And this is such an important skill for English learners because compliments are like little gifts we give with words.
Oh, I love that analogy, Gabby. They really are like gifts. But here's the thing. Many English learners feel nervous about giving compliments because they worry about sounding weird or making mistakes.
Right, totally.
And receiving compliments can be just as tricky. Some cultures handle compliments very differently, so we're going to break it all down for you today.
So let's start with the basics. What makes a good compliment? Eden, what do you think?
Great question. A good compliment should be sincere, specific, and about something the person has control over. So instead of saying, "You're so lucky to be tall," which they can't control,
Right.
you could say, "I love how confident you look in that outfit," or "You did an amazing job organizing this event."
Yes, those are so much better because they're about choices the person made or effort they put in. Let me give you some really useful phrases for giving compliments. You can start with, "I love how," "You did a great job," or "I really admire."
Those are perfect starters.
"I love how you explained that concept. It was so clear." Or, "You did a great job handling that difficult situation." Or, "I really admire your patience with the kids."
Those sound so natural, and notice how specific they are. The more specific you can be, the more meaningful the compliment feels. Instead of just saying, "good job," you're explaining exactly what was good about it.
And let's give our listeners some situation-specific examples, because context really matters. For instance, if you're at work and a colleague just finished a project, you might say, "I'm impressed by how thorough your research was," or "You handled that client meeting brilliantly."
Exactly. Now, what about timing? When should you give compliments?
Oh, yes. And if you're with friends, you can be a bit more casual, like, "You're such a good listener," or "I love how you always make me laugh when I'm stressed."
Oh, timing is so important. The best time is right after you notice something worth complimenting. If someone just gave a presentation, don't wait 3 days to tell them they did well.
Exactly. And here's something really important. Compliments about someone's character or personality traits are often the most meaningful. Things like, "You're so thoughtful," or "I admire your determination," or "You have such a positive attitude."
Right, exactly.
The compliment loses its power when it's not fresh. But also, make sure you're not interrupting someone or giving compliments when they're stressed or busy.
That's such good advice. Now, let's talk about receiving compliments, because this is where many English learners struggle. In some cultures, you're supposed to reject compliments or be very modest.
Yes, but in English-speaking cultures, especially in the US, the most common and polite response is simply, "Thank you."
Right, it's that simple.
If someone says, "I love your presentation," you can just say, "Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it." Or, "Thank you. I worked really hard on it."
And here's something important. When you reject a compliment by saying, "No, it was terrible," or "I look awful," you're actually making the person who complimented you feel bad.
Oh, wow, that's such a good point, Gabby.
You're basically telling them they have bad judgment. So just accept the compliment gracefully with "thank you."
You can also return the compliment if it feels natural. If someone says, "I love your shirt," you could say, "Thank you. I love your jacket too." But don't force it, only if you genuinely mean it.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about cultural differences, because this is really important for our international listeners.
Yes, in British culture, compliments tend to be a bit more understated than in American culture. Americans might say,
"That's amazing," while British people might say, "That's quite good," and mean the same thing.
Right, exactly.
And in workplace settings, compliments should be professional and appropriate. Focus on work performance, skills, or professional qualities.
That's crucial advice. Avoid commenting on physical appearance in professional settings unless it's something like, "I like your presentation style," or "Your attention to detail is impressive."
Perfect examples. Now let's talk about some common mistakes. The biggest one I see is being too vague. Saying, "You're nice," doesn't really tell someone anything specific.
And speaking of cultural differences, let's talk about a few more countries because our listeners come from all over the world. In many East Asian cultures, for example, it's common to deflect compliments as a sign of modesty.
Right, yeah.
That's right. In Japan, Korea, or China, you might hear someone respond to a compliment by saying, "No, no, it's nothing," or downplaying their achievement. But in Australia, New Zealand, or Canada, like in the US, a simple "thanks" or "cheers, mate" is perfectly normal. Another mistake is giving backhanded compliments. That's when you give a compliment but include something negative, like, "You look nice today, much better than yesterday."
And in some Latin American cultures, compliments are given quite freely and warmly, especially about appearance and family. It's part of building relationships and showing care for others.
Oh no, that's not a compliment at all. That's actually quite insulting. And another big mistake is giving too many compliments too quickly. It can seem fake or overwhelming.
Absolutely. Quality over quantity. One sincere, specific compliment is much better than 5 generic ones.
Let's do a quick role play to practice. I'll give Eden a compliment and she'll respond. Ready, Eden?
Now, let's talk about how compliments work in different types of relationships, because the approach can vary quite a bit. Eden, what about compliments between romantic partners?
Ready. Great question. With romantic partners, you can be more personal and emotional. Things like, "I love how you always know how to cheer me up," or "You make me feel so safe and loved," or "I'm so proud of how hard you're working on your goals."
Eden, I really admire how clearly you explain grammar concepts to our listeners. You make complicated rules sound so simple.
And with family members, especially parents or children, you can focus on growth and character development, like, "I'm so proud of how responsible you've become," or "Mom, you taught me to be so strong and independent."
Thank you so much, Gabby. That means a lot coming from you. I really try to put myself in our listeners' shoes and think about what would be most helpful.
Here's another important tip for shy people or introverts who find compliments scary. You can start small. Even a simple, "nice presentation" or "thanks for your help" can brighten someone's day.
Perfect response. Notice how Eden accepted the compliment gracefully and even added a little detail about her process.
Absolutely. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. I also want to mention written compliments, like a nice email, text message, or even a handwritten note. Sometimes it's easier to write a thoughtful compliment than to say it out loud. Before we wrap up, let me quickly summarize our key tips for giving great compliments. Make them sincere, specific, and timely. Focus on things people have control over, like their effort, choices, or character traits.
Now, listeners, your homework this week is to practice giving at least one genuine compliment each day. Start with family or friends where it feels safe. Then try it with colleagues or classmates. And for receiving compliments, just remember a simple thank you works perfectly in most English-speaking cultures. Don't reject the compliment or downplay yourself because you're actually making the compliment giver feel bad. That's such a good point. And here are a couple more mistakes to watch out for. Don't make compliments conditional, like, "You look great when you smile." Just say, "You have a beautiful smile."
One last tip. In today's digital world, don't forget about online compliments. A thoughtful comment on LinkedIn about someone's post or a genuine response to someone's social media share can really brighten their day.
And remember to simply say thank you when someone compliments you. It takes practice to break old habits, but you'll get there.
Absolutely. And remember, everyone, compliments are free to give, but they're priceless to receive. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you'll become at both giving and receiving them.
Right, and avoid comparing people to others when you compliment them. Instead of "you're so much smarter than John," just say "you're really intelligent" or "I'm impressed by your knowledge."
Before we go, let me tell you what's coming up next week. We'll be diving into small talk strategies, how to start conversations, keep them going, and exit gracefully.
Let's do another quick practice scenario. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and the barista makes your drink perfectly. Gabby, what might you say? That's going to be such a useful episode. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Keep practicing, keep improving, and remember, you're doing great.
I might say, "This latte is perfect. Thank you. You really know how to make great coffee." It's specific about what they did well and it acknowledges their skill.
We'll see you next time on the All Speak. Bye for now.
Perfect. See how that recognizes their expertise and effort? It's much better than just saying good coffee, which could apply to the beans or the machine. You're complimenting the person's skill specifically.